Auburn has finally done it. They fired Hugh Freeze. But who's the most likely candidate to take his place? Welcome on into the Auburn Express, powered by the War Report. I'm your host, Mike G. Turn us on, turn us up, we'll turn it out. I'm here with my good friend Caesar Walker to talk a little Auburn football here on a Monday morning. Caesar, news. We got news this weekend, and the news was not pretty for Hugh Freeze. He has been dismissed, has stepped down, whatever makes you feel good about how you word it. He is no longer Auburn's head football coach. But they got to find one, and they got to find one quickly for continuity's sake on the Plains. On today's show, we're going to talk about who are the most likely candidates. According to CBS.com, CBS Sports put out their list. We're going to talk about that. And then in the second half of the show, we're going to talk about Auburn versus Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt still ranked 15 in the AP after a close loss to Texas. DJ Durkin can open up his head coaching tenure at Auburn with a top 15 win on the road against Diego Pavia, a beast that Hugh Freeze was unable to slay in his time as a head coach anywhere. But let's start at the top of our head coaching list here, Caesar. Love it or hate it is the name of the game. Do you love the head coaching candidate or do you hate it? Love to the right, hate to the left. All your stuff in a box to the left. The first candidate we got up is Eli Drinkwitz at Mizzou. Now, talk to me about this one. He's compiled a 56-27 record at head coach. There's an argument can be made that nobody has done more with less than Eli Drinkwitz.
He has had an amazing 3-year run over the past 3 seasons, compiling a 27-6 record. Even in years where you expect them to actually be rebuilding, he's actually been reloading. He has them sitting at 6-2 and in playoff contention, Mike, which to me is a pretty impressive considering they lost a lot last year. Right. And he's had good defenses. He has a really good coaching staff. I'm going to lean towards love it here. I'm not the biggest Eli Drinkwitz fan, but I think what he has done at Missouri has to be considered if you're looking at someone who's going to build stability at Auburn.
Yeah, look, I look toward development because if you give him the resources that they don't have at Mizzou, that there are at Auburn, you give him a $92 million performance center, football only. You give him $30 million in NIL that Auburn is looking to spend next year.
Yeah.
If you give him all that and you give him Auburn, he could be a potential game changer for the Tigers. You can win on the Plains. Missouri's made a couple SEC title games. They haven't really been able to get past that title game, but they've had some good runs. In 2013, Auburn obviously ran roughshod over Missouri in that Trey Mason going for like 300 yards himself on the ground. But that was a pretty good Mizzou team that they beat that year. Look, man, I like Eli Drinkwitz. I think that he is a stand-up guy. And he stands up for the student athletes. He does. He's a pro athlete kind of coach, and so he could be a good fit here.
He's won me over the past few years. I've been impressed with what he has done. He's built a consistent competitive program at Missouri, and I think if that's exactly what you're looking for at Auburn, so I don't know how you would hate it.
So we love this one.
We're gonna go with love it. We're gonna go with love it.
Yeah, hard to ignore the development piece. I love it. All right, here we go. Love it or hate it. John Summerall, Tulane head coach. Talk to me about John Summerall, man. There is a piece out right now with him talking about his players that I felt motivated. I wanted to get my lupus bones up out of my office chair and go try out for Tulane. He was so motivational. John Summerall, look, and I'm going to pull this back up here, compiled a 38-11 record so far as a head coach. What do you think about John Summerall on the Plains?
I'm not mad at this one. I'm going to go with love it. I'll be honest, I didn't know a lot about him until this year once Hugh Freeze started getting in trouble with the fan base and people start naming names.
Yeah,
I took it upon myself to research this guy, and 38-11 in 4 seasons is pretty impressive, Mike. He got his start at Troy, coached there 2 years. Again, turning programs around instantly. He picked up patrol after Chip Lindsey left and turned them into winners. Went over to Tulane, where they were already a very stable program, and has maintained it and has had them very competitive this year. I've been very pleased and impressed with what I've seen of John Summerall, defensive guy. So one of the things that we've talked about is maybe it's time for Auburn to go a different route instead of hiring offensive-minded coaches to go the defensive route. Not a bad start with a guy like this. I think he has a good system in place. Very organized from what I hear. I'm not mad at this one. I'm going to go with Lovett.
Yeah, I'm a big John Summerall guy. I love it too. I would love it more if he would keep DJ Durkin if he is hired. But, two defensive guys, maybe they clash, or maybe, again, you just see what Durkin has accomplished and you just let him run his thing, man. He's got a top 20 scoring defense. He's got a top 25 overall defense in college football.
Let me say this. What he's being asked to do at Auburn is going to be a lot more involved than what he's doing at Tulane. No offense to Tulane, but you understand the job at Auburn asks so much of you to where you're going to need someone who is organized, gives great attention to detail, that you can trust to run your defense while you're handling other obligations as a first-year SEC coach. DJ Durkin will be a great guy to task to handle that for you at a program where he's already involved. The players already know him. It's a no-brainer to me. But again, what I would like to see is that you bring a guy in and he's able to hire the people who he trusts and wants. But DJ Durkin would be a really sexy pick for defensive coordinator.
Yeah, agreed. John Summerall. So we love this one. We love this one.
We love it. We love it here.
All right. Love it or hate it. Kenny Dillingham, current head coach at Arizona State. He has compiled a 20-15 record in his time as a head coach, but really good last year. He ran them all the way to the college football playoffs, won the Big 12, and gave us an exciting game against Texas where they almost took down the Longhorns. It took overtime for the Longhorns to overcome the Sun Devils. Dillingham, noted, was the offensive coordinator here in 2019 under Gus Malzahn. Gus didn't let him coach, but it is what it is. Talk to me about Kenny Dillingham, man. His name has popped up a lot when talking about guys who you could potentially bring back to the Plains. Do you think that the powers to be would Kenny Dillingham?
Familiarity, right? Familiarity, someone who was here under Gus. I mean, this kind of falls in line with this guy coached at Auburn. Let's give him a look. I'm surprised that CBS didn't mention Rhett Lashley. I know some people are going to mention him in the comments, so let's go ahead and throw out obvious names that were missed in this list. But Dillingham had coached under Gus. Mike, you lived out in Arizona. You lived out in Phoenix area, not far from Arizona State. When it comes to college football, Arizona State has not been relevant in quite some time.
Yeah,
so
he made
Kenny Dillingham in year 2 to get them to the college football playoff. And actually, if you recall, one of the more memorable games in the college football playoff was against them in Texas. In that game that went down to the wire. Dillingham did that in year 2. They're taking a bit of a step back in year 3, but again, they're 6-3. They're on an upward trajectory. Obviously, what he's done in Arizona State has been impressive. He's a young guy, someone who will be relatable to the players. However, I'm going to go with hated here, Mike.
Ooh,
I'm going to go with hated here because Arizona State is his alma mater. He's already winning at a program like Arizona State. He's already made it to the college football playoff, and he's being paid handsomely there. Mike G, it's going to be tough to pull him from a place like that where his heart's there. He's familiar with that place. He's already had success there. It's going to be tough to pull a guy like that in that situation. So not because of his ability, but because I just don't know if it's a good fit.
Yeah, look, no more offensive head coaches. Let's go the defensive route for a second. I hate this one too, man. Look, I like Kenny Dillingham. I think he's a stand-up guy. I think he does things the right way. If you listen to him after they won the Big 12 and got bounced in the first round of the college football playoff, he went to the media and he said, guys, he told his fans, if you want more of this, I need money. We can't do this without money. And the honesty, man, about how you cannot do this in college football without the cash. Look, I mean, I think he gets it. I think he gets the game, but it's time for Auburn to kind of go a different route.
Right.
All right, next up on our list, love it or hate it, a much debated name, a man who has had much success, James Franklin, former Penn State head coach. He was at Vandy before that, and he resurrected Vandy, 128-60 record. Hard to ignore all the games this man has won as a head coach. Talk to me about James Franklin. A lot of people feel like there's a glass ceiling on him. He'll get you relevant, but can't get you to the promised land. Do you think Auburn is a place where he could get to the promised land? If he couldn't do it at Penn State, they definitely got a lot of resources there.
Yeah, I'm torn on this. Well, no, I'm not torn on this one. I like James Franklin. I hate this one, Mike.
Oh, okay.
I'm leaning towards hated on this one. And it's kind of complicated because while he's definitely won a lot of the games that he was supposed to, Auburn's biggest bugaboo is the fact that Georgia and Bama has owned Auburn for quite some time, right? And so Auburn is struggling against their rivals. Like, people make fun of the Iron Bowl and the Auburn-Georgia rivalry because it's been so one-sided lately. And you want someone who has a track record of winning those big games. Now, credit to James Franklin. He got to the college football playoff and actually had a couple of wins in the college football playoff. So he's won some big games, Mike. Let's not downplay. Let's put some respect on what he's done. He has had Penn State competing and playing at a relatively high level. I just want to go in a different direction than James Franklin. Just me personally. I've also heard some things off the field with him, things that I can't substantiate. I just want someone who I feel comfortable. You hire him, it makes Georgia fans and Bama fans take a step back and say, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if James Franklin hire does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I will point out, back in 2016, I think they won the Big Ten, beat Ohio State, and somehow got left out of the playoffs. They entered in.
They might have been one of the reasons they expanded the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it was really egregious that they got left out, if you ask me. I mean, they ended. They beat number 2 Ohio State. They lost to number 4 Michigan. The 3-point loss to Pittsburgh that year really is what people were saying. Oh, they can't lose that game to Pittsburgh, but they beat number 2 Ohio State, number 6 Wisconsin in the Big 12 championship game, and then they played in the Rose Bowl versus USC, and which is one of the best bowl games I've ever watched. It was an absolute shootout versus number 9 USC. They lost 52-49. No lack of points in that game. Look, I like James Franklin. I also hate this one as well too. I just think his best years are behind him already. And he didn't get one then. I don't think we see anything different at Auburn. Auburn probably
SEC is much tough to bottom.
Yeah, it is.
To bottom. Like,
it is.
Like, there's not a lot of teams that you can bottom feed off of in this conference.
Well, he understands that because he coached at Vanderbilt, so he understands the dynamic in this conference, certainly. But, it has changed. Moving down our list here, we got a few more to get through. Love it or hate it. Talking about our guy, Brent Key over at Georgia Tech. He's compiled an 18-16 record as head coach of the Yellow Jackets. Talk to me about Brent Key. There was a guy on the Twitter somewhere that said Auburn wishes they were Georgia Tech. I don't care what our record is. I never wish I'm Georgia Tech.
We don't wish we're Georgia Tech.
Nerds.
Yeah, we don't wish we're Georgia Tech. Some of us might wish we had Brent Key as the head coach.
Fair enough.
Right. So I think what he's done at Georgia Tech, again, another program. You remember when Georgia Tech was running like the wishbone, not the wishbone, but the option,
like triple option thing.
Yeah, you remember they was doing that.
A weird offense.
Brent Key comes in and makes them an instant contender. You remember they jumped on the map last year when they beat Florida State, I think in week 0 or something like that. And he's quietly been building a contender in the ACC, and they're on an amazing run right now. One thing's for sure about Brent Key, he's going to fix Auburn's O-line issues. He's a hard-nosed coach. He preaches physicality. His teams are physical. I think he would bring Auburn back to that level of toughness that you will want to see Auburn demonstrate, especially in these tough games. The reason why I hate this, Mike, is because, like Dillingham, Key is at his alma mater. He has ties to Georgia Tech, loves Georgia Tech. Also, too, if you're concerned about someone who may hang on to your receivers, I don't know if Brent Key's your guy.
Yeah.
Eric Singleton left Georgia Tech just to come to Auburn. So what's the likelihood you hang on to him and some of the other guys because of the style of offense Brent Key wants to implement? So for that reason alone, I think he's a good coach. I think he actually would do well at Auburn. But for me personally, I'm going to go hate it here just for the reasons I don't think you'll be able to get him.
I don't know if there will be alignment with Brent Key. Alignment, right? Like I'm not sure.
There's that word.
Kind of guy that
there's that word.
Accept here, but you ultimately will see. So we hate it. We're in agreement on a lot of these here. Next up, love it or hate it. Alex Golesh, USF head coach. He has got them into relevancy, and I'm sorry, I spit past it. He's compiled a 20-14 record so far as a head coach. Talk to me about Alex Golesh and whether or not he would be a good fit at all.
20-14, I think he went 7-6 the first 2 years, and this year they're taking off. I think what needs to be put in context here with Alex Golesh is that prior to him showing up as the head coach at South Florida, they were 4-29 prior to him getting there. So he immediately began putting up winning seasons at South Florida. I think that's very important. Don't get caught up in the record in and of itself. South Florida was a hot mess before he got there. So obviously there's a winning culture that he's beginning to instill there. He's only done it at one place. One of the reasons why I probably hate this is because I would like to see more of Golesh, in my personal opinion, without me not knowing who he was prior to becoming a head coach. I know Dillingham hasn't had a lot of coaching experience either. Didn't like him. He hated that idea too. I hate this one, but again, I think he's going to be a fine coach at a Power 4 school one day. I don't know if he's ready yet. It's not for a job like Auburn.
Yeah, look, they climbed into the rankings around week 7, I believe it was. It was definitely week 7 that they climbed into the rankings at number 24. And when you look at their record, they are currently 6-2. They had a blowout loss to Miami when Miami was ranked number 5 earlier this season. But the loss to Memphis by 3 points dropped them out of the rankings this past week. So no longer ranked, but certainly
played Tulane too. Played Tulane, I believe.
They did. Wait, no, I don't see Tulane.
Was it Tulane or was it North Texas?
They beat Florida.
Okay.
They beat Boise State.
So their only 2 losses are
Memphis and Miami.
Okay. So they only have 2 losses. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, not a lot of meat left on the schedule. They've got UTSA, Navy, UAB, and Rice to finish out their schedule. So quite possibly they sweep the rest of that schedule, 10-2. South Florida still probably not going anywhere near the playoffs, to be honest. But look, man, I hate this one. I don't think this is. You got to make a bigger splash than Alex Golesh, I think, at head coach.
Gotcha.
They're better. Yeah. I hate this one. Well, you love this or you hate this?
No, I said I hated it. I hated it. I just need to see more from someone like him before I get excited about him at a job like Auburn.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if anything, he gets a job at a smaller school in the SEC before a job like Auburn looks at him seriously.
Love it or hate it. CBS Sports.com. Jimbo Fisher. He has compiled a record of 128-48 in his time as a head coach. I almost spent a lot of time here. I hate this. I hate it. Fiber of my being. I don't even know why they're suggesting this. If Auburn fans would climb the stadium and tear the scoreboard down like they were ripping down a pyramid to revolt against Pharaoh. If you hire Jimbo Fisher, there's absolutely no way you can do this. He's washed. I don't want to hear it. B doesn't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. No Jimbo Fisher. I hate this.
Yeah, I hate it too. We don't have to spend much time here. Let's move on.
Last guy on our list, love it or hate it, the guy who is auditioning live for the job,
This is a bonus
DJ
one.
Durkin.
This is a bonus one.
This is a bonus one. They didn't put him on the list, but we're putting him on the list because, damn it, Caesar, DJ Durkin is got them boys playing defense, and he is Auburn's interim head coach since Hugh Freeze has been released. Talk to me about DJ Durkin. This 11-15 record includes a one-game stint as interim at Florida back in 2014. But DJ Durkin will take the reins as head coach at Auburn for the last 3 games of the season. He will face a top 15 Vanderbilt and a top 5 Alabama potentially in 3 weeks. And if he can pull off a couple wins, man, I don't know, he could get a shot to get the job.
He has the worst record of any of the people on here, but Mike, I love it.
I love it. I love it too. I love it. I love it.
Make it make sense, right? Like I love it because obviously he's been here. This is his second year at Auburn as defensive coordinator. And one of the things that you have highlighted is how organized and the attention to detail he gives on that side of the ball throughout the week, off season. He is locked in, and it shows, Mike. It shows not only in terms of him, but his players are dialed in. His players focuses on the details, and it's no coincidence that your leaders of this team, the people who keeps this team together, happen to be defensive guys. If this can spread to other aspects of the game, from special teams to offense, I'm all for it. And we get a chance to see over the next few weeks what a DJ Durkin coach team could potentially look like. Obviously, Auburn had to make a move late in the year with Hugh Freeze, so you don't have a lot to really imprint upon the entirety of the team. So you got to grade them on a curve. But I'm curious to see how Auburn looks when they face off against some ranked opponents this upcoming year.
Yeah, look, I mean, DJ is, I mean, you're talking about a dude. You're talking about a guy that the players have accepted, and they play for this man. He's intense. Yeah. He's not going to let you slack off. He is the epitome of what I think a hard-nosed coach, a disciplined coach is. And if the reports are to be believed, there was some lack of discipline being exemplified from that head coaching spot under Hugh Freeze. So, you know, DJ Durkin was running his defense like it was his own football team. I mean, and when we listen to the players at practice, they're saying, hey, look, we are like playing on we're on the same field, but it's like 2 different football teams. They're noting how the guys, their peers on the other side, are just doing it better. I don't know what to say, dude. I think that DJ Durkin is a good football mind. I think that he's got it all together, and I think that Auburn would be silly not to give him a shot after they made him the second highest paid assistant in the entire country this offseason, man. Come on, dude. Give DJ Durkin a shot to get this shot. I love it.
My thing is, guys like this are so competitive. You think this guy has not learned any lessons from Maryland? Yeah. You think this guy hasn't learned what not to do again? Like, again, this is a great opportunity to put into practice some of the things that you wish you had back when you were at Maryland. I love it. I want to see what happens over the next few weeks, Mike.
I do too. Look, Caesar, if you're Auburn, you have to accept the reality of what this job has become. Right, this Auburn job has become. There's an idea out there. Remember a couple years ago when Brent Venables was said to be a candidate for the job? You know, he came out and said, "I don't know who I'd be working for over there," and that's really unfortunate. That is like such a prominent coach came out and made a statement like that. Yeah, you've got to get somebody in here who they will let just run the program. I think DJ Durkin, and I don't know anything about his politicking skills. I will be honest. So I don't know if he's the guy that will be able to come in here and schmooze and do some of the things that you need to be able to do if you are the Auburn head coach. But certainly, I think he can recruit. I think he is their best chance to hold this roster together this offseason. And I think that the players current will buy this. I think they'll buy this. So we love it. It's so much to talk about. Look, Auburn has a game. Auburn still has games to play. The next game up is Vanderbilt, Caesar, and the Tigers don't have much of a shot, according to ESPN. We'll talk about that next, right after a quick word from our sponsors, our friends at the Vibe Vault. You can find them at 3462 Crosswinds Road, Suite E in Phoenix City, Alabama. If you're in the Columbus, Phoenix City area and you're looking to get fresh for the weekend, visit the Vibe Vault. Not just barbers, lifestyle consultants. Also want to thank our friends at Sky Tobacco and Vape. Ever run out of vape juice at 10 p.m. and think, well, I guess I'm just going to suffer? Not with Sky Tobacco and Vape around. These folks got more locations than the Waffle House, Columbus, Phoenix City. They're everywhere. Whether you're on the throughway, the bypass, or just lost with bad direction, Sky Tobacco and Vape is probably just 10 feet away. They've got vapes, tobaccos, and teals so good you'll swear they misprinted the price tags. Sky Tobacco and Vape, good vibes, great deals, and zero judgment if you walk in at night in your pajama pants. I want to thank our friends at the Rogue Shop. Visit rogueshop.com. Use code REPORT to get 15% off your Rogue Shop order. Pain, sleep, stress, anxiety, whatever ails you in life, the Rogue Shop potentially has something that has you covered. If you have some traditional ailments that could require some non-traditional remedies, Rogue Shop could be the place for you. Our guy Richard, longtime sponsor of the show. Throw a little something extra in there for everybody using code REPORT today. Please visit him. Let them know that the War Report sent you. I want to thank our friends at Golden's Cast Iron. Visit goldenscastiron.com/WR. Use code Get Your Weight Up for 15% off your weights and code TWR for $65 off fire pits and Kamado grills. The summer may be gone, but the fall brings great weather. Great time to be outside next to a Golden's Cast Iron grill or fire pit, or staying in shape with some Golden's Cast Iron weights. Work out, grill out, chill out with Golden's Cast Iron. Last but certainly not least, want to thank our friends at SetsForSociety.ai. If you're looking to get to know yourself just a little bit better, Sets for Society has custom personality assessments that let you know a little bit more about how you think, how those around you think, and how you guys can best think together to achieve like goals. The road to knowing self better starts at SetsForSociety.ai. Just visit them today, fill out the form, and they will do the rest. Sets for Society, get to know yourself. Vanderbilt, the ESPN matchup predictor is giving Auburn just a 29.1% chance to go on the road and beat Vanderbilt. How did we get here? 29%. That's all. With all this talent, I think maybe that would have changed. The line opened at 7.5 in favor of the Commodores. It's still at 7.5. Over under at 45.5. Same thing, opened at 45.5. What do you think here, man? Auburn's problem has not been limiting opponents. They are allowing just a mere 17.7 points per game. However, they can't score 17.7 points per game, it seems. And you can lose a lot of games when you can't score. Famously versus Kentucky this past weekend, only 3 points on the board. They lost 10-3. What do you think about this matchup here? DJ Durkin, can he get them prepared in time to go on the road for a big win versus top 15 Vanderbilt?
Mike, this is a bad matchup for Vanderbilt. Let's just be real about it. Last time Auburn faced off against Vanderbilt in Jordan Hare, Diego Pavia came in and was actually neutralized. He wasn't as explosive. They weren't able to run all over Auburn. And it was the same story. Auburn was able to hold Vandy to a low score, but couldn't put enough points on the board themselves to actually take advantage of it. The interesting thing here in this game is that I expect Auburn's defense to travel and show out and actually neutralize a lot of the things that Vandy likes to do from a run game standpoint. I don't expect Pavia to run all over the field and do everything. He's going to have to beat Auburn with his arm like he had to do last year. The curious thing is that if you're Vanderbilt's defense, what do you watch on film? Because the guy responsible for Auburn's putrid offense as of late is no longer here. What is Auburn going to do? Right. So to me, I think the mystery of that is going to be fascinating to see if Auburn can actually take advantage of some things, open some things up, and actually run an offense, a competent offense, an organized offense, an offense that can at least put up some point. Mike, I want to see a touchdown. Auburn hasn't scored a touchdown in 6 weeks. Score a touchdown, please. Please. I know it's Vandy. I know it's a top 15 matchup, but you have a great opportunity to have them on their heels. The element of surprise is there. Take advantage of it.
You're talking about that game last year. Diego Pavia, only 19 of 22 for 143 yards. He ran the ball 12 times for 26 yards in that game. But he made plays when they needed plays. Payne Thorne was 20 of 29 in that game for 239 yards and a TD. Now he ran 7 times for 1 yard, so he wasn't as effective a runner as Pavia was, but Pavia was only 2.2 yards per carry. I think Peyton Thorne actually had the better game by a long shot. Just, he just didn't have the better game plan. And this is tough for me. I really feel like Auburn is the better team. They just aren't the better coached team in a lot of these matchups that they've lost. Can they be the better coached team this weekend? I think that in 1 week, we could potentially see how attention to detail and preparation can lead to W's on Saturday. All we've heard about DJ Durkin is that he is organized, he is meticulous, he is a stickler for making sure that you know every aspect of what your job is when you cross that sideline onto the field. I cannot wait to see what this looks like under Durkin. And when you remove the Hugh Freeze factor because of what we heard a lot about the meddling, could Derek Nix be an effective play caller with no Hugh Freeze there?
This is an audition for him as well.
Yeah. I don't know that we don't know for sure that he'll be calling plays. I'm working on getting that information now.
Yeah,
could be Ken Austin. Could be somebody else on there. But I imagine as the guy who had some stipulation in his contract that he had to be the play caller if he went someplace else. But
that's what I'm saying. You're auditioning for your next job wherever that's going to be.
Yes,
right? You get an opportunity to actually put something on film that gives a coach the idea of, you know what, maybe we should give him a shot. I like what he did given the circumstances. So yes, I'm curious to see whoever gets that responsibility, how they handle it.
Yeah, look, man, it's a good opportunity for Durkin to also, and Nix also, to show if these guys are going to remain for any reason, that you know what to do with the talent here. I had some conversations with some athletes today about how they feel. They're still bought into Auburn, man. They still believe that they can win here. Auburn may have to drop some bags because certainly there are going to be a lot of overtures made to their top level athletes here saying, hey, when the portal's open, you guys need to jump ship, come our way. We got millions for you. But I think Auburn is in a good place under Durkin to have some short-term success and maybe just have some continuity without having to go out there and drop, I don't know, $11-12 million on a big name with no guarantee that there'll be a good institutional fit here on the Plains. So look, Durkin is going to be auditioning in many ways. Today, I will head to the press conference to talk to him and ask questions about what his plan is to prepare this team for this weekend. I can't wait to see how he handles it all, man. I think it's going to be a fun week and the lead up to this game. Ike Jones will be live from Nashville giving us the scoop on how Auburn is doing there this weekend. Final word here, man. Look, what's your prediction? Give me a prediction for DJ Durkin over the next 3 games. How many wins? How many losses?
Oh gosh. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna just go 1-2. I'm gonna go 1-2. Yeah, I don't know if he pulls it out this weekend. Because again, you're having to prepare in 6 weeks. Like if they had a bye week ahead of Vandy, I'll probably go 2-1 here, but I'm gonna go 1-2. But to me, I think he shows a lot in these upcoming matchups. I don't think they're going to be one-sided. I think it's going to be a game that goes down to the wire, like much of Auburn's games this season. I think it'll be much of the same, but we're going to see something on the offensive side that we haven't seen in the past couple of weeks. And I think for that in and of itself, we know what DJ Durkin can do defensively. Nothing's going to change there. I think what's going to be interesting to see is how much does Auburn's offense improve with Durkin at the helm.
Yeah. Give me 2-1 for Durkin over the next 3 games. I think he gets Mercer, and I think he beats either Vanderbilt or Alabama.
If he gets 2-1, he's a serious contender.
It should be a serious contender for the job. Absolutely.
Yes.
And he gets Auburn to a bowl game, so he'll have one more game even to prove himself beyond that. So we'll see what John Cohen decides to do, but we want to hear from you. Hit the comment section after the video. Let us know what you think about what's on the list. Eli Drinkwitz, John Summerall, Kenny Dillingham, James Franklin, Brent Key, Alex Golesh, Jimbo Fisher, or DJ Durkin. Guys, do you love it or hate it on these guys? That's CBSSports.com list, not ours. It's CBS's. But we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think about their candidates. And do us a favor. Show some love to our friends at Abel's Iannone Moore and Associates. Most firms, Caesar, won't even talk to you unless you have a certain amount of money to invest, but Abel's Iannone Moore and Associates takes a different approach. There's no minimum, and you can get a complimentary review of your portfolio or retirement plan before you ever become a client. Why no minimums? Because AMA doesn't measure relationships by how profitable they are. Many clients that don't meet the minimum requirements at other firms are the exact people that need the most guidance, and AMA is committed to making a difference for each of their relationships. It's about honest fiduciary guidance from a team that's been serving clients for more than 20 years. Call AMA at 912-777-4128. Again, that's 912-777-4128. Scan the QR code on the screen or visit aiminc.com. Advice built for real life, not just the wealthy. The War Report has been compensated by Abel's Iannone Moore and Associates for this endorsement. Abel's Iannone Moore and Associates is a SEC registered investment advisor. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Do us a favor. Please hit like and subscribe. We are the War Report on every social media platform. We are TW Report on TikTok. We're signing off, and as always, worry.